Have you ever thought like you weren't quite yourself or you weren't quite like truthful or honest about something? You've not felt so good about it. Well, today I'm going to talk about this and how you can become more of yourself so that you can feel better about life and things in general. And if you stay until the end, I have an extra point for you then as well. Now, as always, if you would like a specific topic, a specific subject, then all you got to do is connect with me on social media, send me a message, or you can comment in the comments below as well if there's a particular subject you would like mentioned or talked about on this podcast. So the other day I made a podcast about the ability to listen is a rare. I personally believe that the ability to really truly and deeply listen to another human being is very minimal. I mean, very minimal people on this planet actually have that true genuine ability. People have the intention, but the ability is different. Lots of times in my life, people have said things like, I'm here for you. And when you talk to them, they're not paying attention or they're just like setting their own agenda on you. And that's why I'm really committed to develop my listening skills as an individual. And I've not got bad listening skills. There's always room for improvement though. And I know there's some people I can definitely learn from in that. Because obviously right now I'm talking, you know, I interview people and I do make an intent to listen. So what's that got to do with this one as well? Well, I also believe that we can kind of feel a little bit rejected and not really heard, and therefore that can hold ourselves back in being who we are, or people misunderstand us. And I've certainly been there. And I've also realized over time that when I'm not truly being myself and who I am and talking the truth, then I don't feel as good when I'm like, right, I'm really stuck with this, but I don't want to ask for help because I could upset someone or they might get annoyed with me. And I've been there many times in my career. You know, now and then I have to catch myself if I'm being totally honest, like doing that. And I think we live in a world for a lot of validation out there. Like we're trying to get validation, you know, we're trying to get likes and comments. And sometimes we bend who we are slightly to get approval. I certainly believe, you know, there's lots of filters on social media, for example. And I think that can be really damaging to the relationship with ourselves. I certainly felt that when I was maybe just doing something, even in business, just because I felt like that's what I should be doing rather than what my heart truly felt I wanted to be doing. That's impacted me. And even just like updating people and just like thinking that's what they want to hear, so I'm going to say it rather than saying the truth. Like earlier, I was on a team meeting and like I fortunately it's like a bunch of real growth driven individuals who are open to hearing the truth. Some people aren't open to hearing the truth, even though you're doing it to them out of, you know, saying it to them or for them out of love. I was on a call earlier and then I was just like, well, in all honesty, I don't fully believe in something. And I was like, I'm willing to, you know, come on board. I just need to really embed that in myself. And everyone else was like, yeah, I fully believe it. And like, yeah, I don't know if that's true or not for them. But for me, I was like the only one who went, yeah, I don't fully believe in that. Right. And I really want to. Right. It is something I want to believe in, but I do on an intellectual level, but I don't feel it fully in my body. And this is particularly true in sales. If you don't fully believe in something, it comes across. And that's where I was. I was like, I don't fully believe it. Yeah, I understand it is good, but I don't honestly fully believe it. And I was truthful and I felt good because I was true to myself. I feel like when I lie to myself, I lie to other, not even lying maliciously, right? Just kind of like bending the truth or maybe exaggerating, you know, not lying as like to get something or anything like that, or just manipulate people or anything like that. But when I feel like I'm lying to myself and I'm not allowing me to be who I am and how I'm truly feeling, and that's damaging my relationship. So I want to ask you if you felt the same, if you maybe just like not being very truthful. Many times in the workplace, for example, I've been like, yeah, I understand that. And I didn't have a clue, right? We just, you know, sometimes it gets to a point and we're just like, yeah, you know, we just go along. But it's like, are you constantly lying and being like, yeah, I like that, but you don't really? That's it's particularly true in dating. I've learned is like when I was younger, I used to just be like, particularly probably more of a teenager, but I'd be like, yeah, I'm fine with that, and I was just trying to please a girl, and you know, that's one thing. that I learned really turns off girls is when you're trying to be nice and please them and not being truthful. When you're truthful from your heart, that's when you can really create more groundedness and safety for others around you as well. Even though you'll push, some people won't like it, but the right people in general, I feel, come into my life when I'm truthful. So I want to give you some guidance on this today about being more truthful, therefore developing your relationship with yourself. Number one, set an intention to do it. Say it to yourself every single morning. Wake up and say, I'm going to live by my heart and the truth today. Just waking up and making that intention, declaring it, write it down and read it every single day. It's going to take you 5 seconds. So yeah, making an intention every single day. And also a good way to train yourself in the morning is to read it at night as well. The second thing, be clear on what feels good for you. Spend some time with yourself, journal. Just what I like to do is walk with myself in silence as well, and then just perspective really comes into me because I'm not on my phone. I'm not trying to bombard myself with information. I'm just allowing myself to connect with me. But whatever method it is for you, find some time to connect with you and be clear on what feels good for you. Okay. The third thing is every time you tell the truth or you're honest about how you're feeling or you do something aligned for you, celebrate. I go on about this point a lot, but it's so key. If you do something, you're like, meh, I did it, right, done that task, and then you just go on to the next thing, well, you're not going to be as likely to do it again as if you celebrate and feel good about it. The more you can feel good about something, it's teaching our body, this feels good, I want to do it again. So every time you do something from the truth, there may be this uncomfortable feeling if you have an honest conversation with someone or you stand up for yourself and you're not used to that. But even if it's tiny, right? Or you just say, look, I don't understand. You don't usually say that. Just celebrate inside. Just be like, yes, I did it. I took the action, because that will make you feel good chemicals in the body. And when your body feels good, it goes by pain and pleasure. If something hurts, it's going to be like, don't do that again, or avoid it, even if it's subconsciously. If it feels good, it's going to be like, yes, we need to do more of that, right? So I want to share a final point with you as well. Just before that, though, once again, I want to mention, if you want a particular topic on this podcast, all you got to do is comment in the show notes below, or you can message me on social media, reach out, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whichever one, and just let me know what you would like me to talk more about on this podcast. The final point I really want to share with you is hire yourself a decent coach who can really listen and guide the truth out of you. Because often it can be quite hard when we're isolated by ourselves. When someone has that conversation, a trained professional, or whoever, or even just someone who's very good at listening to you, right? If you've got a friend or someone you know who can do that, yeah, that's great. Now, I like hiring people because they've got an expertise usually. And my friends and family are beautiful and amazing, blessed to have them. Yeah, they're there, we keep each other company, and, we talk to each other and support each other. Yet they're not usually trained professional, or like coaches, or got a special skill in that. Now, I've got one or two people who are very good at listening to me, very fortunately. That's not the case with everyone. But if you've got someone who's very good at coaching and listening and asking the right questions to you, rather than trying to put their agenda onto you, that's really going to bring more of the truth out in you. That's what I've certainly found as well. They asked me, my coach, for example, I've been working with him for a fair few months now, and he'll ask me a question, I'll be like, oh my God, even if it's a truth you don't like. And it's like, oh yeah, that's very true. He'll ask me a question, and I'll really get thinking, go, oh my God, that's why I feel like that. And that's the truth. And even if you don't like the truth, at least you know where you are. When we deny things, it just makes them worse and they build up. Even if you don't like where you are, being truthful and then know where you want to go, you can understand that gap and move forward. So I would suggest getting someone in your corner, hiring ideally, but you may have someone in your life who can really listen and guide you to some more truthful insights about yourself. So that's what I got for you today. I appreciate you for being here, and remember to lead with your heart, not with fear.